All right.
Are we on?
Yeah, we are. Welcome to Coffee with Cross, episode 12. I am going to go kick this off to... let me go to the dashboard to reflect that we are live. I am clean. I am clean. Let's see.
Is that sent out the email then?
Well, just turning on the thing sends it out. God damn it! How do you change this shit? Oh, I gotta go to my dashboard. Okay, I think Google Ads integration is probably probably aggressive. I'm not sure we're going to get to that today, but let's see. Let's try and do progression as fast as we can. Like, I'm going to try and bang it out. Kill that. Awesome. Commercials. That's great. Fantastic. Okay. So, progression. Let's talk about that for a second. What we want to do, we're not quite done with the doors. I'm going to sort of fix things as we go, and I'll call them out. But okay, so
they play some really good ads on Twitch.
They got a lot of heat, man.
Yeah, they really do. A lot of traffic.
Let's call it 10 doors. Something changes. Okay. Okay. That's basically it. It might be every 100 doors, something bigger changes. Every 1,000 doors, something. Okay, so we're just gonna work on tens, right? Yeah, it's a good thing you're fixing your bed. I was judging you.
It was just on camera. Felt bad.
Yeah. Here we see in his natural state the Brian Foster with his unkempt bed.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn this into the Animal Planet Brian Foster monitoring show. It's like I'm just gonna call it the.
He likes and he feeds.
Yes, that's right.
Assist at the bathroom for the bio.
All right. So, did you catch that part on Keynote?
No, I'm sorry. The screen isn't showing.
Oh, haha! Look at that.
And it's behind on Twitch, so I wouldn't be on.
Yep. Hold on. Let me screen share that with you. Share screen. Start. Okay. So the progression is basically this. Here, I'm gonna make that a little bigger. So every 10 doors, something changes, right?
Okay. Yes. Progression. I get you.
Right. So, but also, not only does something change every 10 doors, right? But something needs to change at 100 doors, and something needs to change at 1,000 doors. So, basically, if you think about it this way, I'm going to do it this way. Let me change this bullet to.
Let's get jittery. Is that our thing?
That's our new thing. Let's get jittery. Is that Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, bro. Let's get well because you weren't here one day, and I walked over and I was like, "Let me get another cup of coffee." And from behind the curtain, I was like, "Let's get jittery."
That's it, dude.
Let's see.
Every 10 doors, like something is going to happen, like an effect or a reward of sorts. I get you. Okay,
Yes.
now this makes sense. Yes.
Actually, and I'm going to change this to. And by change, I just mean that. Some change in the world state, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's come up with a list of things that we can change. Okay.
Music. I mean, right?
So what?
Music or sounds, right?
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Minor changes. Sound can change or music, but actually that's way more significant than we think. I think this is a major change.
Really?
Sound is a very large part of the experience. Even changing like little bits and pieces, cueing one sound effect is minor, but actually doing something to the score or the background music or the ambience, that can be very huge. It can change the mood, right?
Totally.
So I'll call music a major change, and we'll do sound effects sting, which is a minor change. So we'll do some. We'll have to play some kind of sound. But that's I don't want to take it for granted, but that's something we should do anyway. How about? I was thinking about the door progression being basically the doors all start kind of gray, like a medium gray, and then at 10 doors. We'll add something like change the color of one of the doors randomly, right? So from then on, basically, we're going to make sure that when the doors spawn, yeah,
One door is going to be a different color.
exactly. So
That's rad. That'd be pretty cool if it starts speeding up a bit.
yeah, and then at some point we'll do 2 doors, then 3
Right.
doors, and so let's think. We can get to 100. Sorry, that's 10 variations, right, to get to 100.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me jump out of Dropbox because one, it's a fucking bandwidth hog.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, and two, it's notifying me over your face.
Oh man, you're ruining the shot.
Yeah, that's right. So, but also we can do a color change thing, or do something to the doors every 10 doors all the way out to almost infinity, right? We can be doing something different to them, and we can cut that up into some granularity. So let's go do that first. Every 10 doors. Well, actually, so let's play the game real quick.
So we're.
Go ahead.
No, I was thinking because oh wow, that looks awesome right now.
Yeah, remember last week we were saying it was way too colorful?
I mean, it's got like a metal thing going on. It's dark. It's scary. That's really cool.
Yeah. The one thing I want you to feel like every door is equal, and the one thing that's going on right now is I feel like the middle door is highlighted.
Specular or that lighting.
Yeah, it's too hot, right? So let me do. I don't really play around with lights too much, only because it's not really my forte. But I wonder if I can change the. No, that doesn't actually do anything.
It's probably.
Take my directional.
Similar. Change it from directional to maybe a flood, and then it'll spread across instead of.
It will. Let me see here. Hold on a sec. I'll do this first, just because directionals are really easy to work with right now, especially if this is going to mobile. It's really easy to keep one light. We'll just change the cookie size to 30. right? And so let's see if that lights them all. No, it doesn't. The hotspot's still pretty hot.
Yeah, that cookie is just gonna cut into it and take down the intensity a bit.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Let's try a couple more things with just editing the directional light we have. I kind of don't want to get into lighting on its own. I'd like to do lighting as its own episode. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll take this down. Let's take this down to 1. It's gonna be a little darker. But if we have to, in fact, what we might do. All right, so screw it. Let's do this. I'm gonna do a.
Do you need a light? No?
Well, you have to have a light. If you don't have a light, it's a black screen. Right? Like, here, actually, I'll turn it off. There. The only thing that will show is the self-lit things, like the particles.
Right.
Right? So they're not, nothing is getting any light.
What's the light that's below that light that you just turned off? So you've got directional light as the top tab, and then you have light there at the bottom. Is that the same thing?
Right here? Yes. It's all. These are all parts of the directional light in the inspector, right? So there's the transform for the light, and this is the light parameters, right? So basically, what I'm going to do is I may call out the doors. You know what? Let's do it. Let's not get stuck on lighting. All right. Let's let's just keep going because I know you're very visually oriented. But let's not. I don't want to get stuck there today. We should do lighting in its own thing because that's going to be a part of our like visual polish, right? But however, what I will do is I am going to let's bring these up. Bring these on, and then I am going to move this directional light from in front of the doors. Maybe I can get rid of the hotspot. There, it's behind the doors, so it's not quite as hot on one door. But what I'm going to do here is add a we'll add a point light to, or actually, spotlight would make sense if we really wanted to have
one particular place heated.
Yeah, but the thing is like since these doors are dynamic, I really want to bake my lights in, right? And so I'm not sure that this is going to work for me. Hold on, let me see if I can do it this way. Light, point light. Let me bring this down. Far, we'll attach this to this dummy. And zeros, okay, let's come in and look at it. Okay, it's 0 point on that one. And then let's move it over this way. Okay, this light's already starting to affect just that one. Let's pull this out to 2. Okay, and what I'll do is she's moving slow today. I wonder what's going on.
Did you reset?
I didn't. That's kind of my bad.
Maybe you reset before we started. Just to get it going, start it.
Yeah, I typically do that, but
I like how you do something close to where it should be, and then you round off the number in your positioning.
Yeah, because I like to know that everything's kind of exact, right?
Yeah. Or you can just do it by 0.1 instead of like 0.0946.
Right. And then that way I've kind of got like... It's also easier for me to know when something's wrong.
Yes.
Right? So if I see a funny number in there and it's not rounded off, then I know that I either haven't touched it Basic, it's like a visual indicator for me to know when I should give something a closer look. Okay, they're a little bit more evenly lit this way. They're still taking the directional light, but I'll show you. What?
That looks good though.
Yeah, well, we'll have the. I'm going to have the directional light ignore these doors at some point, because the directional light is here to light this background, and then we'll get everything from our point lights. But that's not today. Let's see, let's apply this. Okay.
So we're doing every 10 doors, there's a change. That's our focus, right?
Yep. Yeah, I've got to kill the hot on the middle door. We'll do that today, but I'm going to push it off a little bit, because the first thing we need to do is let's do this. Best thing ever.
Read these in minutes. We should read this.
Okay. So one of the other things that we can do with this is, in this progression, we're communicating with the player, right?
Yes.
Right, and this is how we're going to set up like a feeling. Did you notice in my notes I said we want the player to feel like they're moving forward? That's the important thing here. It's not just that that we're showing them mechanically that they're making progression, but we want to get a feeling out of them, right? And so part of this is it's a little bit of a head screw of like, I want you to feel like you're making progression and that you're being more informed on how to succeed, but that information only goes so far. So to pull it off, we have to be very careful. All right, let's do. Let's look at that. Make sure the doors are all the same color now. I changed all their RGB values to be equal. Okay, that's a lot better, right? Because one of them's not lighter, one of them's not. Whatever.
It looks very intentional in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay, I'm still, and part of the reason why I want to make sure that I pull that hotspot off of there is exactly what I'm talking about. I want you to feel like the middle door is more important than the others, right?
Well, that would be cool if later on it kind of fooled you.
Yeah, we could move it around. Well, here, watch. I'll move this over by, let's see, this is 6 up.
It'd be up, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. That was at 5 point something. You know what? I could possibly just move it up a little bit. That might pull the hot off of it. The thing is with the directional light is you have to think about it. There's a spot in there where you can put where it'll tell you where the cookie is. But I mean, directional light is all coming from one direction. Everything is getting lit from one place. So it actually really shouldn't matter. Okay. It's just an indicator to show you like what direction in the world the light is coming from. Right? All right. Well, that'll have to do.
It looks good.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different things we can do. Let's go back to our progression notes keynote because I've got some ideas here. Right? Is duplicate this. Feeling. I'll just call this feeling modifiers for now, right? So the idea is basically, I'm thinking what we do is we go from dark colored doors to light. So every 100 doors, we've basically got some values, and this is, I'll probably delete this slide, but basically we have 3 values, kind of 4 different qualities we can go with, right? We can color, like their color, which is RGB, right? Their saturation / tint, right? Basically kind of what spectrum they're on, and actually this is the one I kind of want to get into because this is what's going to give us the feeling of darkness, right? Because the more saturated something is, the more you feel like it's lit, and the more you feel like it's happier, right? So I want the doors to kind of feel like they're getting, like, I'm getting somewhere lighter, right? Like towards the end. So we start with dark doors, and then at some point, every 10 we may not do it, but I think maybe every 100, the door color set turns a little bit lighter. Does that make sense? Okay, so dark color doors to light every 100 doors. Okay, so every what I'm coming up with is like before I even start scripting, right? Because we know we want things to happen at 10, 100, and 1,000. Before I even start scripting, I kind of want to know. Well, I have to know what the hell we're gonna do, right? I think at the 10 doors one, it's going to be a little bit more granular. I won't do it here, but we're going to do something like color modification at 10 doors. Right? Something about the color set. Then they'll get lighter across time. And then I don't know what we're going to do every 1,000 doors, but I have an idea. But I'm gonna reveal this in a little bit. Okay, so that. By the way, coffeewithcross.com is live and kicking. So I'm going to try and get. Hey, did I miss any previous chats? By the way.
No, just let's get jittery and t-shirts are required.
Yes, t-shirts are required. So I will say, so that's two things. Cafe Press, I opened up a store. There's nothing up there yet. So I'll put a Let's Get Jittery shirt up there at some point. And then the blog is up and running. By the way, I'm using If This Then That to sort of keep the main sort of blog roll going. But I'm going to add some... I'm going to start adding links to resources, and also I'm going to link stuff out from my public Dropbox folder so that you can get this keynote, and also I think I'm going to put this project up at some point.
Awesome.
So that people can follow along. You can open it up and work on the game.
You're like the Bob Ross of game development.
It's getting there. Not yet. It's getting there.
happy little fireball right over here.
Hey, yeah, except that, like, in this, it's like, hey, look at our happy little square and our happy little keynote.
It's good though, man. I'm telling you, like, this is the process.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
This is what you do.
All right. Nope, not that one. Sorry. Let's go back to this one. All right, let's turn this off. Let's go back to our use script, right? So our scoring, right, is how we're basically doing our progression. We're going to do it based on what's going on in here. In our scoring, we know a lot of different things, right? Like when something spawns, we got Satan, we got nothing, we got coins. Let's see, we got add score, which means that we've passed a door, right? Because score goes up every time you pass doors, regardless of the result. So this is where we're changing that up. Well, we can start to do, we can count every time you go through this, right? So let's go, and that's actually just the score. So when score, let's do this. No, fire.
Is that Street Fighter?
Yeah. Fire. Tiger uppercut. Yes, exactly, Proxy. Oh, it's a happy little hell flame. It lives right here. It can go wherever you want it to go. You can place it somewhere in the level. It's very, very chill. Let's see. Let's go find. So we know that we've got an integer, right? And that's score. And we know that what we want to do is start looking at a condition to as a counter, right? There we go. There's a float. Nope, we don't want to float. Sorry. Delete selected. And then we also have an integer counter, right? Oh, okay. So when something here, I'll do when something comes into here, right at the end, and that happens, then what we're going to do is compare A to B variable integer. When this variable is bigger than this variable, then we have options to do things here, right? Bing bong. So current value is also coming out of here. So let's say that score is equal to 10. When it's at 10, actually, we're not going to need that current value one, but I'll add it there just so you know what it does. Let's say that this one is, we're at 6, right? When this is at 6 and it goes through this thing, it'll kick out a 6 here, right? So I'll know that the counter's kicked off, and this is we'll call this okay. We don't need this right now. What we do need to know is like every time this is equal to some multiple of 10, right? Except we have a problem here. Is this is doing a discrete comparison, right? Of like when the score is 10, for me to do this at every 10 in intervals of 10, right? I would have to put in 100 of these to get to 1,000.
Right? Do that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we have some sort of procedural change, then it's actually not important what the number is. We just know that at every 10 we want to change, right? So instead of comparing the score directly, because our score is going to continue to climb, we need to basically abstract, let's see, variable to increment. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. This is, and B, I think, is the variable to compare with incremented variable. Value of A after increment has taken place. Let's see. Let's call this our counter value. Okay. So what we can do actually is set up basically a 10-turn loop, right? So that every 10 times it does this. And so what we won't do is actually, we don't even need this score, but what we do need to know is every time we get the add score message, right? So every time we get a message to add score, increment the counter, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. So let's copy this up. When those conditions are the same, when that event fires, we're going to check the message. And by the way, this is the mistake I made last week, is I must have did something or created it from scratch and forgot to compare my string. So I was getting multiple messages in. And I think I said in episode 5, I make this mistake all the time. Right? I do make that mistake all the time.
Well, it's an easy mistake to make, and then it's also easy to fix.
Yes.
It gets lost and all this.
Okay, let me see if I can write this out so that we can go follow my logic as I'm going without. Hold on, let me try it on paper first. So what we need to do is have an abstract variable like this one, right? Then when it gets to 10, actually this isn't even, increments the first attached integer variable, then performs a comparison. I'm reading the reference down here. Fires the appropriate outlook. Okay, so every time we hit this thing, this increases by 1. It compares to 10. When it gets to 10, or we can do something with it, right? Here, actually, I'm going to change this. So let's try it first, so that we can see something happen, right? And I'm just gonna kick out a log. Yeah, I feel like the... Okay. Equal to 10. Log. And here we'll use that current value pop out, right? Save the graph. Save the graph. Save the cheerleader. Save the cheerleader. Save the world.
Bring that back.
I know. I don't know how I feel about that, though.
I don't know how I feel about it either because I thought it went out pretty poorly, written-wise. I thought the first season was one of the best first seasons of a show I'd ever seen one.
The original first season?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I was so hooked. I was
Yeah,
so pulled in.
Skylar, and it was awesome, man.
You know what, though? For me, it had the same problem that you have in superhero movie sequels, is the origin is always the most interesting. And they tried to do that for a couple of seasons, but at some point, it doesn't let your characters progress, right?
Exactly. Then you don't have any further in the story.
Right. And so it's super hard after the first couple seasons. But that first season was so fucking awesome because it was like normal people dealing with getting superpowers.
It was exactly what I had anticipated that show to be.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, real life kind of realistic superheroes, and it worked.
Yeah, it was awesome. Okay.
The heroes coming back, so that's good.
All right. So when we get to a score of 10, it should kick out a message over here in our console, right? Our score... Did it not start at 0? It should have started at 0. There it is. Did it start at 6? That's very strange. Hold on. So did you see our 10 showed up?
Yeah. But it's just showing up that it's recognizing that it hit 10, right? Now we need to tell it to be something.
Yes.
God, sorry, I was...
Why did it go up to 7? Oh, this one go... Oh, because I... Alright. Because I got sloppy, ladies and gentlemen, and I left my starting score at 6 into confetti. Alright. Yep, okay. Because we started at 6. Alright. So... when it hits 10, it does this, right? So let's do... let's keep this for a second. Now, for us to change something in the door spawn, we actually have to either change the prefab ahead of time, or do it as soon as it spawns, right? And so I think what we need to do is actually go to the door script and start to look at our structure there to see what we can touch, right? So there's our input event. Is there anything else? No. What we can do is, let's look at, actually I've got, you remember when we used to have the doors spawn into random, or turn into random colors when I hit the space bar?
Yeah.
Watch this. It might still work with two of the doors. Right? We left that in from a long time ago, remember?
Yeah, it looks really cool too.
So what we're going to do is actually cut this out of the door script. Let's bring it back to, yep, save that. Sorry, out of our main script. Let's bring this back to our door script, right? And we can start to...
Good call.
use this, right? I knew it was going to come in handy again.
Is it only because you have the two doors linked up there, the purple ones? Is that why the two work?
Yes.
Okay.
right? And the other one is
So 3.
yeah. But the thing is I think let's try this. I think it only works for the first set of doors. I don't remember. Yeah, because those are the ones that it's at spawn, right? Because the names of these doors are actually sort of changing, right? So that's not going to fly, right? However, we do now have a way for us to we can ditch this space. Well, actually, let's not ditch it. Let's just unhook it, right? And what we're going to do is okay. Add event, application event, game events. Let's first get it so that doors change colors when they spawn, right? And then we can restrict that. So let's do game object events. See that. I think we can do variable owner game object. I think on enable self. Right, self. By self I mean owner. We can do some of this, right? So let's take this over here. On enable self. Target color. Target is me. Now we should get every door is random every time. All right.
Just
go ahead.
yeah, just from there.
Yes. So when this object is enabled, or which should happen at spawn, right? When it sort of becomes active, it should change assign my material color, right? Now let's rebuild all our graphs and check that out. Check it out, yo. I don't have like an incredible bedhead this week. It's very much more on the natural side.
Malarkic said.
Oh, Gaff! Hey, Malarkey. Malarkey K, what's going on, man?
Okay.
Awesome. It's a friend of mine in the UK. Yeah, I'm trying to be sensitive about his personal information and what's going on, but he's someone I'm working with. But if he wants to, feel free to plug yourself. Gaffney, but are you up to speed on what this game is? Malarkic? Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. If you don't know what it is, I'll review for you real quick. Actually, fuck it, I'll review for you right now anyway. Okay, so. Our doors aren't changing colors every time. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. Maybe the on enable is not what I want. What I'm gonna do instead is wait, did it not save? Hold on. Control-Z. Let's save this again. Save the graph. Save the cheerleader.
Save the cheerleader. Save the world.
That's right. We're going to be saving the world. Just catching up? Okay. So I'm going to explain the game while we're compiling here.
Right.
So basically, the best way to do this is actually go back to my keynote. The game is called Three Doors. And the concept was I want ads to be the enemy. So the player will pick one of three doors and get randomly rewarded. So they'll either get nothing. Here it is. No. Where's our reward screen? Okay. Anyway, they will get no result, plus 2 tokens, or ads, and you can minus tokens to skip. So when ads get spawned, and I'll drop this below this one. Let's see. That's our basic screen. That's that. The ads will go over your relative status. So you won't know what your score is, but more importantly, you won't know how many tokens you have. When they do show up, you can pay 10 tokens, but since you don't know how many you have necessarily, you might get behind. This doesn't seem so hard when you're looking at it static, but considering how fast the game is intended to be played, well, it gets kind of interesting really quickly. I'll add banners in at some point. Oh, you're at the office on Monday. Okay. Yeah. Well, we should at least have a coffee. That would be awesome. Drop by.
So,
Say what?
beer's good too.
Yeah. Well, just not at the office and not with a 50-mile drive.
50 miles.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's my commute. I do 100 miles a day.
Holy.
Yeah. Okay. So. So aggressive. So aggressive on the player. Okay. Oh, wow, 2 tokens in a row. Scores 4. Am I going to get a high score? 5. We got a 0. Oh, that would be in the butt bomb. Two tokens in a row. Oh my! I might get a high score here. Oh, I probably recast it to something that doesn't exist anymore. Dude, I might set the record right now. Notice I'm being very aggressive with my clicks. It's not messing things up.
Yeah,
It's actually
great.
good. And I kind of like this pacing. Right? You get a second to understand what the reveal is, right?
Right.
Alright, anyway.
Jeez, dude.
I know, I had a 26. Not too bad.
Game?
Yeah, well, that's what we're working on, right? Is like we want to know when you beat the game. So they weren't changing colors, right? Let's do this because I think what this is very literal. When you enable that object or disable that object, right? We're not actually enabling it, we're just spawning it. So let's add a new event. Let's call it... let's call it graph event. So on this graph enabling, right? Which is, you have to remember, this is kind of a brain screw. Is this graph is instance across all the doors, right? When this
Right.
particular graph enables, do this thing, right? So the first time that it enables, the door should already exist, and it should change its color, right? So let's save the graph. Let's go to save debug. Hey, Malarkey K. What time is it for you right now? It's 8 hours ahead, right? 8 or 9 hours. So it's late on a Saturday afternoon. Do you have me running in the background while you're playing Dota 2? Is it Dota 2 time? I'm infringing on that. Or are you and the lady cozied up on the couch watching me make games?
Chris, are you a Dota 2 player?
I have played some. I keep going back and forth. The thing is I don't have consistent people to play. Oh, we're having a problem. Okay,
Yeah,
so no,
that's
it's basically
decent, right?
it's basically saying that we're not getting to assign our material color. So I think
His owner?
is the owner of this.
Oh, the doors, all the doors, yeah.
Each
Okay.
door by themselves. So let's see. I haven't specified the material channel. I did not know that. It should be 0 though. Let's go look at each door. So that's 1, element 0. 1. Oh, I wonder if this node has been deprecated. Game object. Let's look for color over here. We want to set okay. That didn't seem like what we wanted over there. Hold on 1 second. Let's get into this. So I am going to look at our actions. Let's try by game object. Assign material color seems to be valid here. All right. Well, let's try this with our new node that uncopied from somewhere else. And it should be material channel 0. See, I'm not sure that that's going to work because notice that I have the new shader style going on here, and it's now called the albedo. So I don't know. Let's try it. Say what?
Interesting.
Well, the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work, right? So we keep trying things until we get it. If I have to, what I will do is try and actually get the reflected material from the door first, and then set it from there. So I'll get the property from the actual material, right? From the door. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Nope, see, they're not changing colors. Let's do this. Let's look at my console. What's it saying? Not set to an instance of an object. Okay, it's actually not. So it says that it doesn't exist yet because the graph is showing up before the door. Right? Okay, basically, let's leave this all alone. Let's find a better event. Visibility events. No. Okay. Let's push that one. It's so interesting that the ones that used to work for me all the time were the graph events when that used to be my favorite thing was when this graph went active, because a graph would get active after when it when it like after the object went in, but it seems like the order has changed. So what I'm going to do is, you know what, I'm going to skip that test because that actually isn't how we're going to do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is go back to the way that we know we can do things, right? And let's change this to, let's get our signal, right? And condition comparison between strings. There's our two things. So basically what I'm going to do is when I send hold on, I do actually need that to work. Okay, how am I doing this? Input event. I do need to know when this thing actually starts. God damn it, son of a bitch. Let's see. Condition event. Physics event. Physics events. Trigger event. Events. Let's say that. Hmm. Hold on, I'm thinking. Let me go back to... I'm going to open up this main script for a second. I'm going to go sort of see what we've got going on here. So we're going to spawn our prefab. We'll look at the properties of our actual door prefab. What is in here? Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's go back to the door. Don't save this. Kill this. All right. I'm gonna have to do this in kind of a jacked up way. You know, this is one of those times where I think I'm actually going to do this. Let's do a new window. Let's go to Detox Studios. These are the people that make Uscript.
Okay.
Let's go to the community. Let's go into the forum. Right? And I am going to search here for, let's say, no. On graph enable. That seems to be exactly what we're having, right? Here's our screenshot. On graph enable, get game object name. So he's having a problem very similar to mine. Let's see if he's got a solution.
An event node?
Yes.
Stay in there?
I have a feeling... Okay. Okay, so he put a single frame delay in. All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's just do that. That'll get us the workaround. I was hoping for a little bit more of a elegant solution in that, but let's just do single frame true. Let's actually turn off this duration bit after the delay. Add event, game object enable in owner. Let me read this back to you so that you understand what's going on. Okay, so when I'm enabled, I being the owner object of this script, which is a door, any door, when a door is enabled, we'll delay by one frame and set a random color to myself. To myself. All right.
That makes sense in plain English.
Yes.
Let's see if the computer understands it.
Yeah. Well, the computer understands it. It just may be petulant, or I may have to set that delay a little bit longer. It's a shame that I had to do that word.
A baseball card guy?
Say what?
Were you ever a baseball card guy?
When I was a kid, I was a baseball card guy a little bit, but not because I was a particular fan. It's just I wasn't wired that way. what was really
Yeah.
cool was my dad showed me a way to. He taught me how to do box scores
Yeah.
by using baseball cards and a deck of regular cards.
Yes. You play baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, where you like basically use the random cards to set, like to play the game, right?
It's fun. Yeah.
Okay, at least now I'm not getting. I'm not getting my errors, right? So at least I'm getting my door set. Now, let's look at this door in the inspector, because this is what we wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Assign material colors, not working for us. Well, let's go check that out. Okay, assign material colors not going to work. Let's do some shader. That's not going to be. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Texture. Let's see. Do 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 do. I'm looking for get material. Let's see if we can get our material right on channel 0. And what I will do is see if that returns something for us. Right. This little log node has become the most important thing ever, hasn't it? Because what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out what part of that node isn't firing. Right? There's several things going on there, but I just want to make sure that I can still get materials this way. Let's see the graph. Let's build it.
Castro asks if this is about bubbles.
Is it about bubbles? Hi, Castro. So that's something that's left over from the old DreamWorks days, where we used to play Bust a Move in the hallway.
It's great.
Yeah, and so somehow, is it about bubbles? Is it about bubbles? That came out. I don't know where that voice came from because it's not in the game or anything. But is it about bubbles? Yeah, Castro and I used to work together at DreamWorks, working on Medal of Honor.
Awesome.
Yeah, he did the submarine level in Medal of Honor Frontline.
Really?
Yep.
Really awesome. Up.
Oh, I wonder. Here, watch this. I'm watching to see if the doors in the background are changing colors. Okay, let's look at our console. Sorry. Okay, we're getting our instance, and it's kicking out some sort of material. I think let's try to. I wonder. Hold on. Let's play this again. Check this craziness out. Let's put a door 3. Okay, I just came up with a workaround. All right, just so I can explain what I did here. I went to door set 1, right, which is my my prefab in the world, right? That's the one that we're instancing to everywhere else. And basically what I'm doing is I'm changing the color on the original object instead of the one that's getting spawned. Right? Does that make sense?
Can you say it one more time?
Okay, so let me turn it on so you can see it visually. Here's our original doors that we're using as our prefab, correct? Right? Understand that piece? Is that door 2? Which door is which? Door 3. This point light is off. Okay, so when we spawn doors, right, it's using these doors as the instance pattern for every time it spawns a new door, correct? Do you understand that? So let's go here. Right? These doors aren't visible in the world, but watch this. When I go to on the left side of this screen, what I've selected here is, see that these back doors are selected, right? What I've done is, let's go here, we will change the color of the door in the background, which is changing the door up front.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure, because it's not super, it's a little visual, but it's not super what's the word? Whatever. It's not super straightforward. You have to sort of like conceptualize that there are doors hidden out in the background, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is, instead of trying to change our own color, we are going to actually change the color on the door in the background. So instead of the owner variable, let's delete this. Let's do add action game object. Assign material color, right? And this one will be, instead of owner, we're going to go grab these 3 doors. I'm going to drag them in using my mission control. Right? This is not the way I would love to do this, but I think this is going to work just fine. Door 1. I'm going to stack these for my own OCD. Door 2, door 3. I'm going to do it this way just so it's visual, but I could, I think, assign a variable that is list, game object list. So once I verify that this works, I'm going to replace these 3 variables with a list. Okay, let's save the graph. Let's turn these doors off in the background. Actually, let's leave these on in the background. Okay, time to get a little more jittery. I'm gonna get some more coffee. Hold on. Let's get jittery. Let's get jittery. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out what the voice is for "Let's Get Jittery." Okay, rebuild all these graphs. Castro! I used to stand around outside this guy's office, not Castro's, but I would say, I don't know, I would just go stand really close to him at his desk and go, I need to make the Is It About Bubbles game one day. You and I need to start putting together like a highlight reel. I was actually thinking 2. One which is just outtakes, and another one which is basically like real meat and potatoes, so that you don't have to sit through 16 hours of content. Right? And just do like a tips and trick one kind of a thing.
You have like a full day of content now.
Yeah, easily. Okay. I think I've got some sort of logic issues here. So it's not kicking out any problems with that. I just duh. Sorry. That was incorrect, sir. I wasn't actually setting my check these. Is this all? apply this. Let me double check that's, yep, they're all the same color, correct? All right. We gotta rebuild this again.
Is it about powers? Is it about powers?
Hold on, I'm gonna check the dashboard real quick so I don't
Sure.
get to see. Say what?
You're gonna have so many shirts.
Is it about bubbles? And let's go, Jerry! I'm looking for... Okay, here we go. Alright, this should play fine. Let's see this. No? No?
Is it changing every time or once you hit 10?
No, it should switch every time. I haven't added the logic for once I hit 10 yet. Turn it down a little bit. Oh, man. Okay. So assign material color is no longer available to me. This is set random color. Although, I think... Oh. Hold on. I'm not actually setting a random color. God damn it, I suck. Let's do this.
You gotta turn all those on?
Yeah, but now we should get something random. I think. I gotta really be careful because the nodes have all changed in the last update, so I have to double check all of these. When I copy and paste something in from before, right? Like, be a little careful. Although we got a random color out of it before, right? In the other graph.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah. When it worked in the other, yeah.
We did. Into confetti. Yeah, when it was this one, right? Because this is what I copied and pasted in. Okay, let's delete that. Oh, see, but this one had red min, red max on it, and it was changing just the reds.
Red Sonja and Mad Max.
Yes, Red Sonja and Mad Max. You have a selective hearing today. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's see how this works. Ah, fuck me. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna do add. I don't like doing this. I was kind of looking for something to do this, but what we're gonna do is every update, right? We're gonna ditch this. To be selected. We're going to add a condition comparison between bools, right? When on update, if this boolean is true, then let's do our thing. All right. I was trying to do this in a step-by-step fashion, but screw it. Let's just go for it. False. Let's see. Set random color is our new boolean name. We're going to start out false, right? And then what we're going to do is make sure that this works. And then after we set the material color, we're going to add action. Variable boolean, set a boolean, right? We're going to set this boolean back to false, right? And then we should be fine. And what we'll do over here is when, yeah, let's leave it on the spacebar for now so I can show you how this works, right? What I'm doing is basically setting up, I guess one thing we can call it is a like a Boolean gate, right? Let's see, I don't want to actually compare bool. I'm going to set this boolean. Every time I hit the spacebar, right, on an input event, what's the input? We're going to filter by spacebar, right? When the spacebar is hit, set this boolean to true. Every frame, if this boolean is true, set a random color across all RGB values, and set that color to these doors. After we do that, set it back to false. Okay? Is that do you jive?
I jive.
Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, I hope it works.
Okay. This should work. If this doesn't work, then assign material color is not working. Right? Because essentially I'm controlling the event that's going in, spacebar, right? I am sort of like guaranteeing that my message chain is under my control, right? That's what I'm doing here, so that I can make sure that the event that I eventually kick off into this will be, according to my. It's my rules, man. It's my
That's
rules.
Right. You're making this world.
It's our time down here.
Goonies reference?
Goonies reference. Slick shoes. Okay, let's see.
It's a flight.
Yeah. What did he call that? Like chomper teeth on like a extender.
Pictures of power.
Yeah, pictures of power. Okay.
Pictures of power.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm changing my doors in the background. You see them?
Yes.
That's
I
not
do.
changing my doors up front. Okay. Let's do this. Now that I know that I'm changing these doors that are there, let's see if I can change my let's see, variable to owner game object. Do this, see if that works, right? So when I hit the space bar, this should be happening 3 times, 1 per each door that's active, right?
You have 10 people watching right now.
I know. Hello, all 10.
Hi, 10. How are you?
I think I know everybody. Well, it's you and me. That's 2.
You can't get a list, huh?
I can off the dashboard, but all right. Let's see this now. Let's hit the space bar. Here we go. Okay. So now
Sweet.
I know that I've got random colors going. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What we'll do now is
But it's not going to be spacebar, right?
no, it is not going to be spacebar. However, what we can do is now unhook this, right? We now have an action that will set this up for success. Let's add an event, signal event, receive signal, right? And then we'll add make the object that we're getting our signal from. Whoops, not that, not the audio source. As just general use script, we're going to add a variable, which is a string. This triangle is an output, right? When we receive a signal, what is that signal? This is how I got into trouble last time, is I didn't talk my way through this. Condition, comparison, compare string, correct, right? Now I won't get into the same mistake and chase a bug down for an hour that wasn't actually a bug, it was a user error. User error. Finish the game! Finish the game! Okay, when it's same, set the bool to true. What string we're looking for is going to be, let's call this value, change color 10. Change color, yeah, I'll just call it change color 10. Okay? Okay, there's our string that we're going to use. Actually, I'm going to copy it. Let's save this graph. Now I'm going to go back to scoring. right? Now, every 10 add score messages that we receive. After the first 10 at least, we're going to send a message or send a signal internally. Okay, action. Let's see, what is it? Not editor only game object? No. Events, there it is. Signals. Add action events. Send signal, right? Paste our string into this graph. Send this signal. When this variable hits 10, I'm going to add the game object that we're sending to so that they're both on the same channel as uScript. Okay, just to recap, I'm going to go back through this menu real quick because I think I went through it too fast. I did add, I went to actions, and then I went to events, and then the actions that I can do in signals is send signal. Okay, I put a game object on the bottom here so that basically that's the object. Like you could actually send a signal directly from one object to another, but I'm just kind of broadcasting to all of uScript right now. Actually, I'm not broadcasting to all of uScript. I'm broadcasting to the main uScript object here, right? I'm using that as like sort of my basic hub. We're sending this message, this signal, right? Rave party! To everybody, right? Anybody that's listening to the underscore uScript object, right? The people that are listening for it is the door. And the door, when it gets this message, will change colors. Now we're going to have to play through. Come on, Mickey Ficky me, Mickey Ficky you. If you want to love me, Tony, then love me. All right, let's get through 10 doors. Hopefully I won't lose before that. Just to make it a little less confusing. It's fantastic. I might take my coffee one day. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. Our score is going to go to 10. Boom!
Interesting. Way to go.
So, the doors changed colors after they moved in. That's totally okay, because we'll fix that. So we've got every door being, the thing is, aha.
Just that one.
It's just that once, but that's okay. So basically, what we want to do is, let's think through this. This is kind of not what I intended. So now they're only changing when basically they get this message, right? Because I've set it to true. It comes back, then it reverts back to whatever the sort of home value of the prefab is, correct? What I think I'm going to do is actually, on update, set random color. We're going to change this to the color 10, right? And so once this is true, I'm actually not going to turn it off. Oh, I am going to turn it off. Son of a bitch. Because what I want it to do is when it spawns It checks. All right, this is going to be kind of a complex chain of shit. All right, so let me write this out in English over here on Keynote so you can see it. Right? Do this. Right. However, this is set by a variable, so when set random color is true, right? Only. However, there's two events coming in. There's one, which is here's the event, right? And this is after 10 doors, correct? Right? But we also want the range of doors to be like we have two states, right? We need to set the door state when it spawns to pick a random color in some color range, right? But we also need to do keep that progression, right? So what we see right now is we lost that progression. We got the message, right? It set that random color at that time, but what we needed to do is hold that. So what we can say is we've actually got two things. When I spawn set a random color, it's actually, there's one other one. Have we passed 10 doors, right? So have we passed 10 doors is basically true, but it's not working that way in our logic. Does that make sense? I'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
So back here on scoring, let's do this. Let's save that. One way to do this would be, after 10, right? And let's do this. Greater than or equal to 10. We'll send this signal, right? Now, basically, we'll get random door colors past 10, past this 10 variable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Isn't it still unequal to, though?
Sorry, it didn't actually draw my line.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm going to ditch this log.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So this is where I want to do all of my progression logic, right? So essentially, after it hits 10, I'm going to send this signal every time. That's going to get really noisy. I kind of don't want to do it that way, but we'll start. I'll start keeping track of what the two objects are doing. So scoring is doing one thing, door is doing another thing, right? In fact, I think what we can do is let's do this. Three. Oh, I lost. Son of a bitch. Okay, here we go. Okay, 3. If this goes to game over before I get to 10, I'll fix this because we can. Oh, we're good. Okay, here it comes. You ready? 10. Door should come in different colors now. No, no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, yes, 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 no. Oh,
no.
It said no. Let me go back because I think I did that a little bit quick. Let's double check my door script. Yes, save this. That wasn't saved.
Bio.
Okay. trues, false. Oh, I know what I did. I changed my variable name. Hold on. All right, I'm going to start at with a value of 9, so that we only have to click the door once to get to test our result.
You just put the crisscross code in to score 9 right away.
That's right. Score 9.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right.
Castro.
By the way, you do need to check out that Axiom Verge game.
I do. It's like I'm not. I don't know. It's tough for me to get into like Metroidvania games.
That's my style of game.
Is it Metroidvania? I remember Kid Icarus was amazing.
Yeah, that one was like an original.
Yeah. OG. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Spawn change color. 10. Greater than. Spawn change color. Spawn change color. Let's double check my message. Change color 10. Door. Yes. Yes. Let's see, there's an asterisk there saying that it wasn't saved. Damn you, Unity Detox Studios, for changing my workflow. Wait, what was that hand gesture?
Going like this.
Oh.
I think earlier you did a hand gesture like this.
Yes, yes.
Like, maybe we should throw that in the highlight reel.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, let's save. I wish I had a save all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's rebuild them all. All right. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so what are you eating? What are you eating?
Cashews, mixed nuts, Brazil nuts.
Nice. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So that it's okay that they're doing this. They're now going to come in at a random color. Notice there's that slight delay before that happens, right?
Yeah.
Notice that's also because my score delay. There's a little bit of a delay in the score. We can fix that later. We've got something to work with now, right? So let's go back to the door script. Let's actually set our random color to be a little bit less random, and let's just make the doors a little bit. Let me see. 200 or 256 is about 2/3, right? Let's try this. So a small random range, 0.6. Oh, actually, I don't care about the alpha. Okay, so all of the doors will be a slightly
The alpha make it translucent or transparent?
What?
Would the alpha make it transparent?
It would, but we don't want that because you need the doors there to prevent you from seeing what the prize is, right?
Yeah.
So, Joshua chooses cashews. Cashews! Slick shoes! Slick cashews! Okay, let's get this going. Let's see this. If we can actually see. There's a way to see this. If you go to the dashboard, you can see what's going on here. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to Unity. Unity. Cold-blooded. Okay, so now they're all getting a little bit darker, but a slightly random color, right? Do you notice that?
Yeah. Surely.
Just a little bit, right? Okay. So, what we're going to do. So now we have more variables we can play around with, right? So let's start adding variables. Basically, every time instead of doing that, let's do this. We've got our change color 10 event coming in. We've got these other things. I'm going to open up your brain to another way of doing almost all of this, right? So let's drop a float. Yeah, not quite there yet. So 4, 5, 6. I've got one too many, I think. So red min, red max, green min. Drop this up here. Green max, right? Blue min, blue max. Okay. Target color. We're going to move this over. We're going to ditch this. Let's change these values. We will give this a name called red min, and this one will be
Mad Max.
Mad Max, yeah. Green min.
Pretty excited about that movie, by the way.
Are you? The trailers look awesome.
Yeah.
To the max. So now I was kind of brute forcing it before, right? Blue max. We worked through my slow morning brain, not caffeinated enough. Sort of scripting issues. Now we basically have some variables we can control, right? So what we can do is when we get this message to set this bool, right, after our piece, instead of just setting a completely random color, what we can do is add an action that every time we go through this chain, we start to do something like variable. We're going to do an action to a variable. The type of variable we're going to do an action to is a float. We're going to set the float. And in fact, let's do add action variables. Float, set random float, right? So I'm going to get sort of a double hit of random in here. When we do set this to true, I will do this one. All of the mins, we are going to, actually, I think I could do it this way. Add some variable. Let's see, let's try a list of floats. So I'm going to set a minimum number for the. Oh, it won't let me have. It won't let me have a float list here. Let's delete that. Will it let me have 3? Sorry. Let's see if it'll let me have 3 target floats. It will. So we'll do it this way. Right? So what we'll do is set a random float, more mins and maxes, between, let's see, 0.7 and 0.5. Okay. Got it? So now, do you understand what's going on here? When we set random float, I'm going to set the minimum value of the minimum value in the set random color to something between 0.7 and 0.7, let's call it 2. Not a whole lot of variability here, right? Now we're going to actually do, copy this node, drop it over here. Come on, son. Grab all of the maxes. Pull those up here. Max. 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 Okay, now basically what I'm doing is I'm setting the random color here, right, to be off of this sort of queue here instead of having it in this chain. So that gives me kind of a double stack here, where I can control these through some other means, which I'll do here pretty soon, because I think what we can do is get this off of this message list. Let's see. Okay. Save the graph. Just verify that everything works exactly the same.
Save Snowflake. Save your jobs. I think that's how the line does.
What's that from?
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Nice.
That's an underrated movie right there.
It is.
The first one's awesome.
Although, you know what's underrated is 22 Jump Street. Have you seen it?
I love that movie, man. I think it's hilarious.
21 and 22.
Yeah, they're both great.
See, they're turning a little darker.
Right? Like, really close.
Yeah, well, it was great in the first one where Johnny Depp and Peter DeLuise showed up, right?
He just, yeah. Didn't Johnny Depp get, well, I don't know, spoiler alert, guys.
Okay, so that's exactly the same. Let's set this to point.
I started watching Daredevil last night.
Oh, I hear that's good.
It's awesome, man.
Is
It's really
it?
good. Yeah, it's really good.
So our minimum value is always going to be that. It's always going to be our max. Yeah, let's try this. Play around with these numbers a little bit. Okay. I would probably structure this a little bit differently in a few weeks, but I just kind of want to get it going. The basic thing I wanted to get into your brain today was that sort of introduction to logically following two objects, right, that are progressing at the same rate but keeping track of two different like world states, right? So it can be difficult to do unless you are sort of take it slow, make sure that you're paying attention to everything, right? And just writing it out. This is what I want to happen when this event happens, right? So if you break your world into event and action, right, as a sort of thought process for all of this, it actually becomes a little bit easier to sort of track all of this. So there's 9. We should get random. What did we do? We did get random colors. It's very slight. Okay, watch this. I'm going to change this to. Notice that it's still in play, right? That
Now, if you wanted to, would you be able to slowly ramp that up? That more and more, the randomization is, more drastic and more drastic over time.
That's the idea, right? So here, these should be normal. These will spawn in.
Could you just do it from like 0.0 to 0.1000? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we could, and it could be pretty gradual. The thing is, the first time that it happens, you need it to be a little bit more defined, right? A little more noticeable.
I agree.
So, what I think I'd like to do is instead of that, so now we've got one point of logic. Another thing that we could also do is instead of changing all of the doors to be randomly one color, we can do
on Netflix binges.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I canceled my Netflix for a while because there's just too much random crap to watch, and now I'm like, oh, dude, I've got to get Netflix again just to watch this.
A lot of good original content.
So the other thing that we can do, and this is going to be neat. Our progression is going to be kind of fun times here. This is going to turn into a pretty long string of random stuff that's happening, right? Yes, because I could even start to do controlling these random variables, right? Which is kind of what you're talking about, is that range. Because here, watch this. We'll do. Let's get it playing. Go back into our graph, and instead of instead of setting these down here, right? I'm setting this random in here. We can make this 0.1 and 0.12 all the way up to a max of let's call this 1 and 1, right? So we guarantee that we're gonna the random float that gets into the max is 1, and then it's going to be random again, right? Oh, actually, that should work right now. It should work live, right? And we should start getting.
Hacker?
Oh, it's real subtle. Real subtle. I was expecting it to get a. Let's see. We got 20.
0.1 to 0.12.
Yeah, let me hit the next. There we go. Between point. Oh, they all set themselves to 0.8. Where is that? Oh, that's my default value. Okay, hold on. Nope, they're all at 0. What's setting it to 0.8? Somewhere in here, we're getting some noise in the system. We're actually going to do, so I'm doing this, and I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. I'm going to change up the sequence a little bit because I'm setting the bool at the end of this chain. Compare bool, if it's true, set it back to false. When it's set to false, we'll come back to set a random color. Okay. And we can ditch this one. I don't want to wait till, I'm probably losing a couple frames here and setting it back to false, which means that it might be running back through the whatever the system here. Hey, Asado 999 back from last week. Let's look at this again. I don't know where I'm getting these values. All right. Oh, not set to an instance. What in the hell? I may need to build all my grass. Okay. Actually, we may be at a spot where I need to reset everything anyway, and then I'll probably continue to work on this for a while. People can hang out and watch, or this is probably a good time for us to stop. So, like, we've set up the structure today to get a message after we've gotten our first 10 doors, right? We're not ready to do every 10 doors quite yet, but we're now doing something when that happens, right? What we can do, so we've got change color 10. We're sending a signal when we get to that 10 doors. Actually, let's go back to the progressions piece for a second. Let's go back to scoring. We know, even though I'm tempted to keep tuning this, whatever, this works. Something is happening when we get to 10 doors, right? That's not the point. Let's get back to progression for a second. We'll go to scoring. So now we've got, after 10 doors, we've got this going on, right? We're starting at 9. Let's put this back to 0 before I forget about it. And we were doing when it's greater than or equal to 10, correct? So what I want to do is get this back to when it's only equal. Every actual 10 doors, we're going to change what's going on there. However, this is only going to hit 10 doors once, right? Watch this crazy little piece of randomness. We're going to delete this. When I send this signal, I'm also going to receive it myself and reset this counter back to 0 so that the next time I get add score as a message, it'll start to counter back at 1.
All right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay, so I could have done...
So it'll loop around, it'll basically keep going like this.
I could have done this, right? And you see that there's a line there?
Yeah.
That is attached to this so that when that signal gets sent, the thing is I could miss that line while I'm looking at my graph, and it's hard to sort of see. This is actually slower because I'm going to send a signal to the system. Some at a beach. Let's oh, right. I was adding signal to myself. Sense 4. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Right. Essentially what I'm saying is when I get a message from... Actually, I don't need this one. Okay. And then it should reset. So every 10 doors, and this is going to be... the 11th door will go back to normal, right? Because I'm only going to send the message at 10s. So every 10 doors, something should happen to the doors, right? Let's set...
Fingers are crossed.
Say what?
Crossed.
What?
Fingers are crossed.
Yeah. Oh, it's so interesting to watch you rediscover my name.
Your name is awesome. It's got so many levels. I mean, 90s rap.
Yep. Sailing away. Oh, fuck. I unhooked something in the door script. Let's go look at it. Yes. Save.
Now they're not opening.
Hold on. Let's see. Click the mouse. Script. That's for mouse. Picture. This actually should be empty. Okay. Same but different. Kill this log. Let's save the graph. And save the debug. Alrighty. And then I think I'm going to stop at this point because then, because next week, what I'll do is we'll continue progression a little bit, and I will look to create some quote-unquote states for the doors, right? That basically, when we get to every 10, then they should spawn in those colors, right? So.
We're going to test this new...
Yes, I'm going to test this in a second. Have you seen my donut grip?
Is that for stress?
Yeah, and actually hand strengthening. I told you I started taking up golf. Sometimes my hands get really I actually feel that I'm like, wow, I need to actually work my grip. Gotta work that grip.
Gotta work it.
So foul. All right. Let's see. I basically think I need to restart my machine anyway. Oh. I just got a notification that I just went live. Did we lose signal or something?
I never got a location or a notification.
Really? I just now got one.
So did I, actually.
Which is a little strange, isn't it?
Time to complain to our partner manager at Twitch. The guy used to get complained to all the time at my own job.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
What is my... You know what? I'm going to restart... I'm going to restart Unity.
Just like on Emerald, folks, we're game developing for real. Like Emerald cooks for real.
Right.
Burns his hands and things burn.
It's better than fake cooking. Yeah, so I think...
We'll edit the making of 3 doors into a 2-minute piece so it looks like you just did everything like super fast.
Right, exactly. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, well, I don't know why this broke all of a sudden. I must be running out of memory or something. I don't need this. Okay, we're gonna take a break. Actually, I'm not sure I'm gonna go today. I think that's a great place to stop. I will fix this bug in the meantime, or maybe I'll fix it next week on camera, and then we'll continue on with progression. Like, we're getting so close, right? Like, we have like score. Now, when we have progression, we'll have basically, we kind of have the core loop, right? That's what score is. We have basically every time I click the door, I get the right responses. We could polish that up a little bit, maybe add some animation and some player camera, whatnot, some more sounds. We have kind of an atmosphere. It's a little ugly right now, but we've got something we can polish that. So visuals is kind of taken care of. Now we'll have progression, so we'll have like the larger state of the world where we can get to, we have game over and the one thing we don't have is game win, right? So we need to basically set a win condition and then sort of work to it from there. And then we'll have that done, and then we'll spend one episode. I think we should be able to finish progression next week. I will noodle on it a little bit in my head, even though remember I told you I don't work on this during the week, right? Like, I sort of intentionally come in without having pre-worked out all these problems so that I can talk through the problem solving.
Right.
Because I think that's what sets us apart is making mistakes and then problem solving through them and me trying to be as clear as possible. Also, that this only gets worked on here, so you literally get to see the raw bones of the game all the way through. It's not super impressive yet, But I think when we get to the final product, it's going to be kind of amazing, right? Because I know what it's supposed to look like in my head and how it's supposed to play. I don't know. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun times. So, all right. Does anybody have any last minute questions?
How far it's come so far, man. To tell you the truth.
Say what?
I can't believe how far it's come so far. You turn it on one day, you know, after not seeing it for a week, and it looks like a brand new thing again.
Yeah,
Great.
It's fun to watch the progression, right?
Yeah, maybe instead of score, it's level, and then when people get to 10, they level up, and then when people get to 25, they level up, and give them like that kind of a benefit.
It's technically from our point of view, as far as tracking the variables, we can do that too. It doesn't matter.
Right?
It's the same thing. Once we start tracking that we've done this, that, or the other thing, it'll be super easy for us to add things like that. But we need to get to the structure first of like now we've got to 10. So
Totally, yeah.
What I'm really excited about is now that we've got all of this stuff going, is we're really about 1 or 2 episodes away from actually getting to like a super magical Saturday where we do not only a visual polish, but we make it feel right. Like we make it feel correct, and that's going to be like another full episode or 2, right? Almost everybody shows you the first 80% of how to get to a piece, but they don't show you how to polish. And so like, when we get to that spot, I'd like to mega blast that out. That I'm going to show you something that a lot of people don't really show ever, right? It's like, let's polish it. We're going to polish this game to like a high sheen.
We're going to polish the knob of this game.
But wouldn't that be Satan's knob? I'm not polishing Satan's knob.
Me neither.
Yeah. Oh, hey Asato, this is Uscript, and let me go to Detox Studios, and in fact, I'll show this to you in the asset store. So in the asset store, I'm using Uscript, right? It's $95 to buy. However, don't freak out. If you go to Detox Studios and look for, let me find the search the website, Personal Learning Edition. You can download the Personal Learning Edition from here. Let's see. Let me go to my dashboard so I can paste it into chat. So you can download it for free and evaluate it. You might like it, you might not like it. A lot of people really like Playmaker. I think maybe we should do Dumpster Baby in Playmaker.
There you go.
Like we finish this off, I'll learn Playmaker on camera so that everybody can see that one. Or we can find another visual scripting tool that's more free. There's a few out there. And then maybe we'll vote on it. Actually, this is our 12th episode. Episode 13, I was thinking about doing something special since this is the 13th episode. It's appropriate to continue to work with Satan on the 13th episode, right? Just because of the number 13.
Sure.
However, I was thinking next week, what we would do is maybe do like a special marathon length session where, not marathon, but maybe it'll be 2 hours, possibly 3, where I'm going to have the chat room vote on what asset to build a core game loop out of. And I'll go through the Unity asset store, pick 10 or 3 to 5 options and have everybody vote, and then we'll make something with it that day.
Awesome.
So, Asato, if you see something in the store and you're like, oh, I really want to know how to use this, or I want to know how to integrate it, we'll pick it up. The other option, I haven't integrated iTween yet. I could show you that. Or we could just continue off progression, right?